Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Concept Corner, where creativity is key. I'm Xandros,
And I'm Drifter.
and this is our last episode for Pokemon Gen 8 on the Switch, and I think it's a doozy of one, because this is all about one subject today, and it's one that, frankly, everyone was kind of meh or upset about from Gen 7, and we're going to improve it here today.
There's a feature from Pokemon Sun and Moon that wound up being much maligned, that I believe, with a few tweaks, could be brought back, could be fun, and could be an actual draw, a selling point for the game, rather than the feature that everybody walks away complaining on Reddit about.
Festival Plaza.
You guys know it, you love it, or hate it. Probably hate it.
I don't know people that loved it. They tolerated it.
I pretty much only ever used mine to farm bottle caps.
You did that?
Mhm.
I've actually never used them.
Really?
I've not used Bottle Cup once yet.
Oh, I've done a lot of it.
I'm lazy. I've gone there to get random items, or for Wonder Trade.
I pretty much I go in there, but usually I'll pop in there the first early in the day. Go in. I've got all the little the lottery set up.
Two.
That's all every one of mine save.
That's all it's showing up for me is those two.
Every one of my booths save one booth that has a bunch of like power up or level up choice options in it. The rest are all just so I could farm for.
So what you're saying is your
gold and
character
silver.
has a gambling problem.
Yes, my character in Sun and Moon had a gambling problem.
Shame.
But
the problem was with the Festival Plaza was that it's so separate from the game.
it was kind of in its own little universe, and it almost seemed like your trainer was part psychic type and had to use teleport to get there.
And what's worse is that it housed all the functionality we had at our fingertips with the PSS and just sectioned it off over here.
It felt like a step back.
It really
instead of
did.
a step forward from what we had, in X and Y.
And to try to have all these cool little things you can do there, there's items and stuff, yeah, but frankly, who cared? And that's how they got rid of super training from the past games, which was okay. Super training wasn't terrible, wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
I must
to do these like jump house things.
Yeah.
And no.
I will say I am a fan of the hyper training where you're actually able to increase the inherited values of your bred Pokemon. That was something that I think needs to carry over.
That's fine.
And it was perfectly good.
But the changeovers just didn't feel well. It felt clunky. The way you had all these little sub menus, and then you had to deal with connectivity times taking a little bit.
Even the way it progressed and you unlocked new things felt clunky. You felt like you had no real control. It was too randomized. It was not fun to play with. I'm sorry, Game Freak. Sorry, Pokemon. The Festival Plaza just was not fun.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to completely trash it the way it is now, and we're going to rebuild it here with something new. In fact, we're going to bring you Poke Park. Now, that sounds familiar. There was a Poke Park for the Wii. It was a minigame filled kind of a little thing where it's fun to make new friends. Well, that's kind of what this is, a little bit. We're getting rid of the online functionality of your trading and everything being here because your battles and trading and stuff in the PSS in the main area, not here. We're not going to separate that out.
All your online function is going to be in a menu that you can easily bring up, and it's right there at your fingertips.
Yep.
Not something you have to search for.
No.
This is a special area set aside in the game just for mini games, just for having fun, just for something else to do.
Oh, but it's not just for the fun. This is where your super trading happens.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you can do stuff like increasing happiness and find new items, customization, or battle items that are only available here or harder to find. We're going to have a good time here. Let's discuss the big draw, and that's going to be the mini games. I know what you're thinking. We're just going to get these crappy little mini games to play. What's the point of that? Super training is the point of that. This is how you super train. You play different mini games, and the mini games that are available change around from a pool of them every so often, maybe like twice a week, certain days, Wednesdays and Sundays, Tuesdays and Fridays. New games arrive, and each game raises a different kind of stat, and you have at least one game for each of the stats every time, and a couple of random ones that do something a little bit different, maybe.
Some of them that maybe are just for fun. Some of them that some of them that are just available to play with your friends. Something fun to do. For inspiration here and to get an idea of what we're looking at, go back to some of the mini games you've seen in previous titles. Pokemon Stadium 2 are fertile grounds
Oh
for
yeah.
this. There were mini games that me and my sisters loved playing, and some of them were just a straight rip out of those games.
Diglett ring toss.
Yeah, Diglett ring toss could be a good way of training up, say. So, in order to get an idea of what we're talking about here, we can look for inspiration for new mini games and for the style of mini games from previous titles like Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. There was an entire sub area that me and my sisters used to go to and play a lot in which you had all kinds of mini games that you just played in for fun. There were things like Diglett Ring Toss. There was Scyther and Pinsir had a wood chopping game.
Love that.
These games could easily be converted into either super training games or just fun mini games that you play with your friends or by yourself to earn currency like festival coins or festival tokens to be traded in for customization items, for items from the shops, for things to help you out in breeding your Pokemon for competitive or just in battle and going forward in the games.
Yeah, and the thing is, these games can be used for super training. For instance, with the ones for cutting, it doesn't have to be just Scyther and Pinsir. It can be any Pokemon, but it can be one of your Pokemon at that. You have a Scyther, put it in. It starts super training. Maybe doing this game trains its attack, so you super trained your attack. But if you're playing with friends, the more you cut, the higher your score. The higher score gets the most points towards their super training. And those that don't get the higher score, they still get some points towards super training. Maybe if you got 4th place, you get 2. 3rd place, you get 3. 4th place, or 2nd place, whatever number I'm going at, you know what I mean? A little less, but the max points goes to the winner. Or if you're playing by yourself, you're going to get the points anyway, but the point is you're having fun while you do it and try to get higher scores. And the higher scores give a better pair, or even better, maybe a rare item.
This is an excellent place to bring in some online functionality to bring the community back in, because now you can have people who are playing together and having fun in Pokemon that aren't doing only trading or battling. This is a good place to bring in your friends from across the world or friends that have moved away to play some mini games with you. You can invite people to a private session. You can even maybe turn it on and go public and play with random people online and just compete for tokens or to train and see what other people are working on, what are other people training up for competitive, or just have a good time.
Show off your shiny in the new game. Have a little fun. Oh, this shiny Scyther is awesome looking with this nice little weird red orange looking neckband. That was such a lazy shiny. But that shiny Pinsir, man. Woo!
Bright
Or
green.
anything that can chop it up. Maybe it's a Scizor. Maybe it's a Garchomp.
Could be a Scizor, could be a Garchomp, could be a Machamp or a fighting type Pokemon that rather than cutting, well, they could be using Karate Chop. It could just be a straight arm punch or any kind of attack. So long as the mini game mechanic holds still or holds true, where you're essentially trying to time the hit within a certain part of the block.
The point is, there would be certain Pokemon that would be pre-programmed into any of the mini games that would be available to bring in. Otherwise, you can just play with a rental random. That way you're not training it up. Sure, but you're getting the festival coins or the Poke coins, whatever we want to call them. We're not going to really give them a name. We're just currency is the point.
Mm-hmm.
But only that this currency is only usable in Poke Park.
Now, say you want to train strength on a Pokemon that can't take part in that particular style minigame. They're still going to be able to get credit for that hyper training. Well, perhaps they're just spectating and cheering on the rental Pokemon you're using. Even if they can't take part in the game themselves, you should still be able to super train using the mini game. So don't worry, even if your Pokemon isn't compatible and can't show up as being your avatar for the game, you're still going to get a benefit of using it. And even if you have no reason to be playing that game, maybe you just really like that mini game, it's really fun for you, you can still play with other people just for the joy of getting the coins, the currency used to buy stuff down the road,
or just to have fun with your friends. I mean, it doesn't even have to be online. Do local. Mm-hmm. There's different ways to do this and to make it more fun. In fact, here's another interesting one. Who likes surfing Pikachu? Why not have a surfing Pikachu game that shows up? It's just one of the fun ones. All you're doing is you're controlling a Pikachu. You have your switch in hand. You got to tilt to the left. Got to tilt to the right. Oh, you got something coming. Got a nice wave. Use that jump button. Use A or use one of the triggers. Whatever you want to be jump. And you do a trick if you push it with the right direction.
This could be an excellent way of doing maybe speed or special defense or some kind of training, but it could be kind of a fun balance game where the idea of the minigame is to stay on the board.
Mm-hmm. Or even better, a little game they have where you have a little box. You got to tilt the box around, get the ball through the course, get to the hole. And the closer you get to the end, the more points you get. Let's put a Voltorb in there and have a little fun. Who can get there first, you or your friends?
Who can get furthest? Maybe there's a maybe if you hit the thing too hard, it causes the Electrode to get scared. We all know when Voltorb or Electrode get scared, they use self-destruct.
Oh boy.
So any Pokemon capable of using self-destruct that can roll around, say a Geodude, a Graveler, a Golem, there's a bunch of different ones. Fortress and Pineco could be good for this too. Allow them to roll around and be Pokemon usable in this kind of Marble Maze minigame.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different things we can do with these mini games.
There was a Dance Dance Revolution clone that we did that was Metronome.
Up, down, left, right.
Yeah, it was up, down, left, right, and it was basically dancing metronome fingers. And as you hit the thing, the Pokemon basically, and that's actually a good way of going back and introducing music from other generations, or maybe even music from different movies, events, and shows and stuff. Different music that's associated with the Pokemon games. You could have a thing where it's basically a rhythm-based game with Pokemon that know metronome and do a little dance thing where it's Pokemon doing a dance competition to old Pokemon themes.
And the best part is, if there's a mini game you want to really play, well, maybe you can favorite it, and then you can use your festival points or whatever you want to call them, the currencies, to bring it back for that moment for the week.
Mm-hmm.
You can it'll expedite it back immediately for you. You can have it till the next changeover.
The whole idea with this location is to be kind of a Pokemon theme park, kind of like a, maybe not, or, maybe there's some silly rides or things you can take your Pokemon on to increase happiness, but a lot of it kind of focuses around cool carnival games and silly stuff that you can do and just silly things to earn and a reason to come and have fun and take part in these events with your friends and just to come back and enjoy it throughout the year.
In fact, one cool thing you can do is like customization for your character, maybe certain clothing. In fact, why not one of the items you get here is that you can earn the coins, use the currency, and use it to buy a Johto-themed kimono.
Oh yeah, you could actually have a special kind of you could actually have a special festival clothing. Based on traditional garments worn in different areas of the world, so you can rock some traditional Japanese festival clothing through say the Johto or Kanto themes. You could do some more. You could have some fancy festival clothing from anywhere around the world that has kind of neat clothing.
Mm-hmm.
You could have cowboy outfits that get unlocked. You could have
Santa Claus outfits.
Santa Claus outfits. You could have like what are they called? The bullfighter outfits.
Olé!
That sort of thing. Just silly little costumes from around the world
that show you a little bit about the cultures.
Yeah, and that you can customize your trainer to wear when you're running around the Poke Park. And it also that also shows up to your friends whenever you're on screen, helping or taking part with your Pokemon in these mini games.
And the best part is they can come out to the regular game as well. So you can go around being, the Matador trainer and training all your Tauros.
It would actually be an interesting way of adding role-playing to the Pokemon world.
Yeah, or even more fun is the other customization options for your Pokeballs and for your ride stuff is also available here too.
If we're gonna find a good place to add in any of this stuff, these crazy trainer customization, but to keep it from really bogging down the world, the place that makes most sense to stick this stuff would be right here at the Poke Park. You earn these neat little cosmetic things by taking part in these mini games, and then you just have a little extra customization. Another reason to come back and keep playing and to be running around and just interacting and really engaging with the system as a whole.
Yeah, the point is having fun, and we feel that the Festival Plaza was such a letdown.
It
was
really
something
was.
that just really didn't fit, but something like this could. You want to come over and just have fun with your Pokemon? You can ride a coaster with them. It's just you and your Squirtle on a roller coaster, freaking out, having fun, and you have a little picture that you can have taken down. Because a lot of these kind of rides would have cameras, like a log flume or a roller coaster or the teacups, and you can do like a little customization, like a postcard that you can send that you can put online and have fun with your friends.
This could also be an excellent area to go to reduce some of the time it takes to hatch an egg. There could be mini games that you play with an egg or involving the eggs that actually help increase the hatch speed. In fact, there's been an option from older games was there were egg exchanges where everybody it was kind of like Wonder Trade for eggs. Everybody took an egg and put it into the pot. The computer mixed them up and randomized it, and then passed everyone out a random egg. And then you hatched that, and it was just a neat egg.
Which one was this one in?
I'm thinking it was. I believe that was the Game Boy Advance era. I believe. It was either that
Was it?
or the original DS. There were ways of taking eggs and randomizing them.
I don't remember that one.
It wasn't used very often. It didn't get used a whole lot.
Either I'm not remembering it correctly or you're remembering it wrong.
I could be remembering it wrong.
It could have been a side game for
it. It may have been a side game. It may have been I've played a lot of the Pokemon Stadium games and Battle Revolution and stuff like that, and XD. So it could have been a feature that was available through there. But I remember there being a way to swap random eggs with people, and I think that would be a neat draw to either like an egg themed festival or something that you do here at the Poke Park. Because let's face it, hatching random eggs and water trading eggs, I think, is neat because there is a limitation to what Pokemon you can get through eggs. They're always going to be level 1. They could have better than normal stats. They could be Pokemon you don't have. But they're not giving people legendaries and mythicals and Pokemon that normally can't breed.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that breaking the game too hard. They're just level 1 egg Pokemon.
But the point is having fun. And that's what this series has been about, is making the next Pokemon games fun, making them a little challenging, and making them worth the money you spend on them, and on the money on having a Switch. Because let's face it, that's going to be a system seller. It's going to be the Pokemon games on the Switch,
and it's going to take quite a bit because there's a lot of mumbling, a lot of rumbling, and people are upset right now that the news just recently came out the week that we're recording this episode. I mean, it's going to be old hat by the time you guys see this because this is the last episode of the series. But the week that we recorded this, and it's pretty obvious we haven't changed our clothes. We recorded it all the same day.
Oh yeah.
The week this came out, they announced that that after Ultra Sun and Moon, there are going to be no more main series Pokemon games on the 3DS. In order to get people to plunk down that $300, at least that's what it costs around here for the Switch, there really needs to be a big draw. And I think that by putting a Pokemon game out that has this many features, that's going to have this kind of longevity, that's going to have these big ticket draws, this reason that gets people excited to want to come together and play together, that's going to sell you some systems.
Yeah, this is what you need to do. This is why we wanted this initial idea for Concept Corner was going to be a Pokemon, and why we had to split it out between 6 parts, because there was so much to talk about here, because we're talking about a system seller kind of game.
We're also talking about a series that's very near and dear to our heart that we've been playing since we were kids.
And has actually developed in depth over the years in one way or another, even if it's gotten shallower in others.
Yeah, there's still so much meat, there's so much depth, there's so many things to this series that I really think there's fertile ground to bring stuff back. And I do believe that that Generation 8 on the Nintendo Switch should not only be a game about bringing the Pokemon into the future and going forward, but needs to have a healthy dose of looking back and celebrating the Pokemon series as it has existed, and bringing back old fan favorites, seeing faces from the original games, seeing obscure characters that people might not even know about, bringing back features that used to exist that can't exist again, and just celebrating Pokemon as a series and as a phenomenon. It's been a legitimate global phenomenon for what it is.
And the thing is, you don't have to do it because it's an anniversary year, like they've been doing the last year or so, where it was like the 20th anniversary.
Right.
And it doesn't need to be because it's the anniversary year, just because it's been such a long-lasting and stalwart series, a fan favorite for years that everyone still gets excited about whenever there's a new generation, new Pokemon announcements. I mean, look at the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon stuff. No one was showing much interest at first, but once we started seeing new Ultra Beasts, new things to do, the hype started getting real. And that's what we're looking at here. We want people excited for Gen 8. And this is why we're hoping at some point, maybe, just maybe, someone from Game Freak and Pokemon Company will see this. I doubt it, but it'd be cool. And they see these series of videos, all 6 parts, and think, hey, they've got something there. And that's what Concept Corner is about. It's not just us talking to other like-minded people, other fans of different series, but hopefully a game developer will see this and think, hey, they're onto something, and maybe we'll see it in the game. That's the pipe dream.
If not, this is still an excellent place for the community to come together to discuss our ideas and our loves, and our hopes, and our dreams for this game that has so much potential, this upcoming exciting new thing. We're still what, like a year or so away?
Minimum from a big announcement on even, and a name even.
Yeah, we don't have a name, we don't have any features, we know nothing about this game. We're going based on just what can be. So we definitely want to hear from you guys. What can they do? What needs to be done? What should they absolutely bring forward? What should probably not carry forward?
What did we miss?
What did we miss?
What didn't you like about our discussions? I mean, there were 6 parts. There was a lot of stuff we discussed in a pretty shotgun fashion. Let's be honest. We were putting them out there. This was less organized than we wanted it to be, but we had taken so long to get to it because of personal life stuff and you know, it's just one of those things. Health problems. You've been sick on and off.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been fatigued from work. So we had to do what we did. We just bullet pointed and we went free form for you guys. And that's pretty much how the series is probably going to go from here on out. We're done with Pokemon for now. There's always going to be more Pokemon games in the future, I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure this isn't the last time we're going to talk about the Generation 8 game. Once we get more information and more systems that are coming up, I'm sure we're going to wind up having all kinds of ideas and get struck with inspiration for new things. And hell, there's ideas I've got. There are things I'd love to see added to this game that I never got to talk about. I'd like to see things from other games that aren't even main series come in. Like I've told him, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon or a lot of Magikarp Jump, and I think it'd be fantastic to have Magikarps that you can catch in the wild, or have a mini game rolling around catching Magikarp, or have Fish Tank where you catch the different patterns of Magikarp that are available in that game, just to kind of look at and see, or just something neat, a neat new flair to that Pokemon that Magikarp doesn't have a whole lot going for it, other than evolving into Gyarados.
It's just there.
But it becomes now.
But Splash became a good Z move.
It did, and it becomes a lot like the unknown. It becomes something that there's a drive to collect when there's different colorations. I mean, I know that when Minior came out, I collected every different color, and then searched around for forever to find a shiny Minior.
Which is kind of cool looking.
Yeah, I had to trade some pretty nice stuff with the GTS just to get it.
I bet you did.
But it was totally worth it because I completed my Minior collection and the Vivillon collection. People want to collect stuff, so having those silly little patterns, that's a fantastic way of adding something more to collect beyond just completing the Pokedex, or for people that have that collector's bend to them.
Yeah.
Oh, something we didn't talk about that we may end up tacking into or editing into the middle of the video.
Let me just put it here.
Move tutors.
Oh yeah.
Move tutors were something we were disappointed didn't appear in Pokemon Sun and Moon, but we have had confirmation should be appearing in Ultra Sun and Moon, attached to the whole Mantine Surf thing. But they're a staple in the series, and they're very important because a lot of Pokemon without move tutors have a very limited move pool. One of the things we'd like for you to be able to spend your currency from the Pokepark on would be move tutors. It's an excellent way to come in there and teach them moves that they wouldn't normally be able to learn. And you can even have similar move tutors hanging out in the World Tournament area for other moves. But I think the vast majority of your moves should probably be handed out here at the Pokepark, along with your super training and maybe your hyper training and all that good stuff. It seems like a good area to also put in stalls for move tutors, where you trade in your coins and your currency, and bam! Now I can teach role play to my Pokemon that normally wouldn't get it. Role play is a big one because I enjoy my gimmick fights, and I love being able to play with Pokemon abilities and whatnot.
He's a very gimmicky person.
Oh, yeah. I had way too much fun with Oricorio and Dancer, and I had way too much fun with Aranguru and Instruct, and the power of alchemy on a Alolan Mach. Oh, stuff like that. It's amazing. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of neat tactics that come about from being able to take abilities from one Pokemon and put them on one that they normally don't get access to. It's hard to pull off in combat because you're wasting turns setting that up, but when you do pull it off, it's rewarding and it's fun and it's interesting. It's an interesting idea and concept. Plus, move tutors have been integral to the competitive scene for so long because there's so many good coverage moves that Pokemon normally couldn't learn outside of those tutors.
Very true, very true. But I think we're going to cut this here.
All right.
This series of videos on Pokemon's gone long enough, 6 parts, and we want to thank you for joining us for this. This has been, our foray into a new series for this channel. We're going to be discussing different games in the future, and we're going to probably limit those down to 1 video per idea because, frankly, this is going to take too long for me to get every video that we talk about for a game 6 parts.
By the time this releases, Ultra Sun and Moon is going to already have been out.
Very likely when all of this is done.
Hell, by the time all this comes out, maybe we'll actually have more information on Pokemon for the Switch.
Oh, not even close. No, I'm not. Are you saying I'm slow? So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below on all the stuff we've discussed and your ideas. And we will see you for the next episode of Concept Corner. And as always, I'm Xandros.
And I'm Drifter.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.